How is it going, everyone? It's Rob with the Z06, and today we are going to be comparing the two cars behind me. To my right, we have Corey's Hysteria Purple Eray with a Procharger on it, and to my left is my green Z06 with Bolt-On. So we're going to be running through a comparison of sound, horsepower, times, all that good stuff to see which one is the winner. Let's get to it. Starting off here with Corey's Eray. His Hysteria 2025 Purple Eray comes from the factory with a 6.2 liter V8 in the rear. But making this car different than any other is it is the world's first all-wheel drive Corvette with 2 electric assist motors in the front, bringing some extra horsepower, making it just on par with the same horsepower that the Z06 makes. But being that it is Corey's car, you know he could not leave it stock. Corey, can you tell us a little bit about what you got making some extra power here in the rear?
Of course. So I went ahead and sent it up to Kansas City to Procharger. They installed the P1X Procharger unit on this. We are still dealing with some tuning issues, so you might still be faster than me. We have not verified that yet.
So I know you said you're struggling with some tuning issues with the Procharger in the rear. What are you making to the wheels altogether?
The last run we did was 696 wheel horsepower and 693 pound-feet of torque. So a little bit low, we're still figuring it out, but ideally we'll get her bumped up sooner than later.
In comparison to the C8 Corvette Z06 model, which comes from the factory with a 5.5 liter naturally aspirated cross-plane crank V8. Producing roughly 670 horsepower. Now, that is already an absurd amount of horsepower from a factory car at the rear wheels that your grandfather can daily drive and fit his golf clubs in the rear as well. But as the saying goes, you can never have too much horsepower. That is why this car has a handful of tasteful modifications and bolt-ons to increase that number. Those modifications include the Venturi carbon fiber intake, the Miltech high-flow sport cats, and a full titanium race exhaust. All that brings together the total wheel horsepower of this car anywhere from 650 to 670 at just the rear wheels alone. That is quite an impressive number. So with that much horsepower, this thing is definitely not a slouch. This thing is probably a monster from a dig. I know you've done some 0 to 60 testing, and there's been things with the in-car timer versus a draggy, but from the in-car timer, what numbers are you consistently seeing out of this?
So consistently, I have not done it with this new wheel and tire package, but I did do it with my winter all-terrain package. Yep. Consistently, I was running 2.2 on the car dash timer.
Okay, so pretty quick.
Pretty quick, puts you back in your seat.
Now, while Corey's 2.2 0 to 60 time out of his Eray is nothing short of impressive, the C8 Z06, on the other hand, here behind me, is consistently running 2.5 to 2.6 0 to 60 times, which is pretty impressive when you compare the two, all-wheel drive and just the rear wheel. So there is that difference for power delivery to the ground, but for something that is just using the 2 rear wheels to slingshot it off the line, that's pretty impressive. Now, I am very excited to hear this thing start up shortly and compare the sounds of the two, especially with that Procharger whine. Yours has a red line of 6,500 RPM, so let's go ahead and hear it. The Supercharged Eray sounds fantastic. That deep American muscle car V8 with the Procharger whine, very beautiful sound. Now, on the complete other hand, we have the C8 Z06 exhaust note. which with that new engine, the flat plane crank design, allows the car to reach a top redline of 8,600 RPMs, making for one of the best exhaust notes your ears have ever been blessed with to hear. Now, while these cars might look the same, both being the wide body variant of the C8 Corvette Stingray, as we've talked about, there are quite the differences between them. So there you guys have it. That is a quick little comparison and look at Corey's Procharged Eray versus my NA Bolt-On Z06. Hopefully this was kind of informative, and if you're thinking of going down one of these routes, it might have helped you out. If it did, be sure to let me know by leaving a like down below, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'm Rob with a Z06, and I'll see you guys in the next video.